Are live. Welcome to the NBA Strategy Show. It is Monday, May 13th. I am Josh Engleman, here to break down a two-game slate. Boston, Cleveland, Game 4. OKC, Dallas, Game 4. At least one of these games should be pretty fun. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live, and follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. What's good, everybody? How's that weekend of yours? I know mine was good. Hope you guys had one as well. Lots going on today. Lots to talk about. And we get to watch OKC Dallas Game 4, which is one of the few games that I'm actually caring about right now. But good morning. Good morning. We'll let people trickle in a little bit. Yesterday we got Denver back at it, picking up a dub. What a savior of their season. Fascinated by that series now. Let's see. What is the series line? Nuggets minus 176. Who saw that one coming? And this is a big one then for OKC. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So, let's see. Let's change one thing. Let me make a quick tweak. Is it this one? It is. Sweet. Perfect. Got my change in. Anybody win anything this weekend? Anything good? Because obviously we're not going to have how did Gobert win Defensive Player of the Year? I'll just ignore that one for right now. Probably had something to do with being the best defensive player in basketball, but let's not bog down on that. Now, the Knicks are dead. The Knicks are dead. They're out of bodies, and they're out of gas. You know, if they'd have so much more in the tank if Randall was healthy, if Mitchell Robinson was healthy, if OG was healthy, if Boyan was healthy. Knicks just don't have it left. Nothing negative about the Knicks, just it's a fact. It's a fact. Oh, I'm really over this Boston-Cleveland series. I'm over whether or not Jarrett Allen plays. It's just, I'm over this Boston-Cleveland series in a big way. Chris, that'll work. Jordan Klein awake at 7 a.m. Good for him. Let's get into some basketball, folks, shall we? Hit that like button if you haven't done it yet. Boston Celtics. They are 8.5-point favorites in Cleveland, 207 total. There's not a lot to talk about in terms of the Boston rotation. I will say right now, I am very, very light on a 40% owned Al Horford, who we also have with negative 13 leverage. 30% optimal, 40% owned. These guys are all basically the same. 43% ownership to Horford, 30 to White, 35 to Brown, 35 to Tatum, 40 to Drew Holiday, 25 to Peyton Pritchard. There's not a lot that separates here. Although I will say, I think Al Horford is wildly overpriced, or wildly overowned, excuse me. 5,400 power forward center. Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of value to be had there. But I don't know why he's in 40%. I really don't. 35% for Brown looks great. 35% for Tatum looks great. Drew had a bit of an awakening last time out. Am I getting to 40%? No, but I still have 25. But I'm very, very light on Al Horford. And I don't have much of an issue with that. We have him projected for 25.7 fantasy points. I have him projected for 25.3. You know, he's 0.74 over the last 30 days. I don't really think that I'm talking about someone that we should be like going crazy to get to. It's bizarre. Now, for Derek White, I do feel like I might be a little light. Although I'm only a half fantasy point behind where we have him, 26% optimal, 32% owned. I only got to 10% of Derek White. I mean, you can't play all of Boston if I'm already getting Brown and Tatum and some of Drew Holiday. The one guy that I'm not getting to is 4K Peyton Pritchard. He is the TJ McConnell of Boston. 24% owned. He's in 2% of my stuff. We have him as basically a neutral play. 21% optimal, 24% owned. I'm assuming I'm just getting to a different pay down option. So can Pritchard go out there and get 20 fantasy points and become that dude? Yeah. Is his usage a lot lower in the playoffs? Yeah. Because he's going to just play more minutes alongside the stars. But as I look at Boston in this spot, I kind of just want to get myself to their best guys. And that's Jason Tatum at 9,500 with an MPE. That's Jaylen Brown at 7,700 with an MPE across guard and forward. And then I think Drew Holiday just looks a little bit better than Derek White just because of the price. Could Derek White go out there and go crazy? Of course. Could Al Horford have a big game? Yeah, of course. Al Horford is the most over-owned piece of Boston at 5,400, power forward center. 40% is crazy. If that doesn't come down, he will be one of my biggest fades on the day. And then Pritchard, you can go any direction you want on value, really. There are going to be other 4K dudes that we'll look at. What do you guys think about Boston? Who stands out most to you guys from the Celtics? Who do you guys want to get to? Who do you want to fade? You guys have a different stand? That's what I want to know. Dallas in 5. Yeah, good luck with that. Celtics by 20 or so, yeah. Tatum, Brown, maybe Drew. Yeah, Drew woke up on the day that I didn't jam him. That was fun. Really enjoyed that. Real good time. Holiday, good value. White and Brown. Give me Jaylen Brown. Tatum and Brown. I mean, I think we're all on the same page at this point. Yeah, S&P, I'm with you there. It's possible they just grind Horford here and try to get out of this series as fast as they can. Right now, Al Horford's points prop is 8.5. I got it at 9.1. His rebounding prop is 7.5 juice to the under. I have 6.7. So I think that I'm about there. And then Horford assist prop 2.5 juice to the under. I actually have it at 2.6. So I think that I actually have at the very least, neutral, if not slightly optimistic projection on Al Horford. And I'm still not getting there. That's what gets really scary to me. Could he play 5 more minutes? Yeah. Does the betting market think it right now? No. So that's kind of tricky. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what they do at the center spot. I mean, last time out, we got 38.8 minutes out of Horford, 7.9 minutes out of Cornette, and then the rest of the game was over. Tillman didn't see the floor. All of that would surprise me, that's for sure. A lively over Horford. Jason, you're about to get to one of my preferred options today. Well, maybe not about to. Dallas is last. I don't have anything else for Boston. I think they're pretty easy to talk about. And I don't think Cleveland is all that different. This is not a team that has a lot of options that they could run out. We have 30% ownership going to Darius Garland. That is the most of anybody on Cleveland. And then we have 25 to Strus, Mitchell, and LeVert. 15 to Evan Mobley. I have Jared Allen in for right now. Don't know what else I'm supposed to do there. He continues to be questionable. I'm going right back to Donovan Mitchell. I've been getting a ton of him this series. I had a ton of him 2 days ago. I'm going to have a ton of him again here. He's going to play 40 plus minutes. He's going to take every single shot that he could possibly want to take. He's 9K. He's point guard, shooting guard eligible. He's in 3/4 of my lineups, and he's 25% owned. But I'm going right back to Donovan Mitchell. I'm also going to Darius Garland. 30% owned. He's in twice as much for me. Now, he's point guard only, but the price works. Looked a little bit better last time out. I'm intrigued by if they are really like going to stick to Al Horford. Is that better for Darius Garland? If Horford's playing like 36 minutes late, maybe. I don't see any path to get to Dean Wade if he's center only. To me, that's impossible to want to roster Wade. He would have to have power forward. Strus is properly owned to me. I have 30%. He's 24% owned. I'm also getting the 2x of Karis LeVert. I think the way that I'm looking at Cleveland today is, one, they're a little under-owned, and two, I think they're like mildly interchangeable. Based on their pricing, I kind of want like two of the guards all the time. Now, look at the positive leverage we have here. Positive 15 on Mitchell, 42% optimal, 27% owned. I agree. 30% optimal for Mobley, 15% owned. Positive leverage. I'm over on Mobley too, and I don't ever get over on Mobley. But I have 26% at a 15% owned rate. I kind of like this Cleveland team, even in a situation where like I don't think they are in this game much. I expect Boston to handle it and get to 3-1. But that's a big stand for me on LeVert, a big stand for me on Garland, a big stand for me on Mitchell, over Mobley, over Strus. This is the biggest team that I'm taking a stand on. We're projecting 128% ownership to Cleveland. Hear this, 128. The other three teams are Boston at 220, Dallas at 220, OKC at 220, Cleveland at 120, basically. They're not even close to his own. I'm getting to way more Cleveland, a lot less Boston. I find Cleveland to be a very sneaky team today in Game 4 at home. Do you guys like Cleveland? What are your thoughts on Cleveland, guys? Where do you land? Are you guys with? I assume you guys are with me on Mitchell. Am I right? I don't feel like you guys are going to be as interested in Garland. Nah, okay, perfect. There's Chandre calling Garland. But to me, I'm just going to continue to get to Donovan Mitchell. He's been a fantasy point, 1.25 fantasy point per minute, dude. The price works, the playing time works, the shot attempts work. I feel like the floor for Mitchell is just so high. Hope you're betting on it, whoops. Hope you're betting on it. Seems like they're going to be like, so much of it comes down to whether or not Jared Allen plays, because if he doesn't play, like that's 20 plus minutes that you need to reallocate. But seems like he's not going to play. But if they continue to list him questionable, it's all about, I guess, how he feels when he wakes up. But I want Mitchell. That's the priority here. I assume I get a little bit less Darius Garland as the day goes on. Cleveland certainly just doesn't have rotational changes to make. Justin Sports, so do I. This Jared Allen stuff has become really annoying. I mean, he's been questionable for how many games have they missed? He's been questionable for all of them. 5, 6. He's missed 6 straight games, and he's been questionable for all of it. It's bonkers. It's bonkers. He's like the new Mark Williams. Yeah, like I think at some point in time, he's just going to like wake up and it feels good finally. But we have no idea how to deal with that. Anyway, it's the first game. It's the 7 p.m. start. We'll get the news, and we'll adjust accordingly on Live Before Lock at 6:30. Now, what I want you guys to do is think about signing up for Sleeper. They are the sponsor of this show. Up to $500 on your first deposit. You can't ask for a better deal, honestly. It's what you guys should be looking for. Who doesn't want to get up to $500 on their first deposit? I'm pretty sure everybody does. That's my expectation. Click the link in the description to sign up. You will get up to $500 on that first deposit. They have dynamic payouts, so you can get multipliers up to 100x. You can't beat that one either, guys. You cannot. Baseball, basketball, football, they're hitting all of the major sports. They have free squares constantly. That helps you keep your costs down. I recommend you guys sign up for Sleeper. If you play on pick'em sites, you should play on all of them. It's no different than being at a bunch of different sports books. You can find better lines. Sign up for Sleeper using the link in the description. So you think Mitch plays today for sure with the calf injury? I don't care. They'll tell us before the 7 o'clock game. But yeah, I assume everybody's playing until they're not playing. It's really the only way that you could do this. There's no reason to assume anything different. But yeah, I assume he plays until he doesn't play. Same for Jared Allen. Same for Luka Doncic. All right, let's talk OKC. Thunder, 1-point dogs in Dallas. I am fascinated by this game. I am fascinated by the ownership. On the OKC side, we have 45% ownership to Shea, 40 to Chet, 30 to Wiggins, 30 to Jalen Williams without the Y, 25 to Jalen Williams with the Y, 25 to Lou Dort, 20 to Isaiah Joe, 10 to Cason Wallace. It's pretty flat. There's a lot of ownership coming into OKC. Most of it is where it should be, although we are showing some pretty negative leverage to Chet Holmgren. As I look at OKC, my biggest stand is Jalen Williams. I get a lot of Jalen Williams every night. Tonight is going to be no different. He's 7,500. He's point guard, small forward eligible. I will be over the field on Jalen Williams. I have very little doubt. I'm over on Dort as well. He has not been as interesting, but I think we're going to get one of those games where Dort knocks down a bunch of open threes soon enough. But after that, neutral on Isaiah Joe, under the field on other Jalen Williams, under the field on SGA, way under the field on Aaron Wiggins, way under the field on Chet Holmgren, not getting to as much Oklahoma City here. It's tough. To me, Jalen Williams is just easy because of his eligibility. He's point guard and he's small forward eligible. That sort of eligibility is really important to me on a 2-gamer. Do I like paying up for Shea? Yeah, absolutely. Well, right now I have 75% of Donovan Mitchell, which is causing me to get a little bit less of Shea. And we'll talk about how I'm light on Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving after this. But I think Jalen Williams is your best Oklahoma City option. We have Jalen Williams with just 24% optimal rate, 29% owned. We have the most optimal guy being SGA. That doesn't surprise me at all. I assume I'll have a little bit more SGA when we get to closer to lock. Jalen Williams with a Y, though. Second best optimal rate on Oklahoma City. 30% optimal, 26% owned. Do I still think OKC wins this series? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't just change it after 3 games. I haven't seen anything in the series that makes me think that like Dallas is just the team that you should get to. Now, yeah, OKC will be interesting if they make a change to their starting five. Possible that they pull Giddey. I don't think that they do, but they might. But they might. He's 4,700. You can't play him. That's for sure. That much we definitely know. Who do you guys like from OKC today? Is it the value side? Is it the starting side? Like, are you trying to sift through Wiggins and Wallace and Joe and other Jalen Williams? Or are you looking at it a different way? Yeah, it's almost like PJ Washington is thriving when they guard him with SGA and he gets open shots from Luka. It's that's helpful. Sky likes both Jalen Williams. I get that. I get that. By the way, ESPN has the Thunder mocking Jalen Williams' brother to the Thunder. Chandre likes Shea. Anthony Arlovsky likes Dort. Demetrius likes both Williams and Shea. Yeah, I think we're all seeing it the same way here. Einsteinium, you shouldn't question it. He's not ready for that. That's not an indictment on Jalen Williams either, but it is just the simple fact that he's 23 years old and in his first run of the playoffs. I don't expect much. He will be that guy, but yeah, it's early for him. I think Dort looks good, but I always think Lou Dort looks good. 4,800, small forward only. They are indeed S&P. Derek Jones Jr. has looked really good on ball. All right, let's get to Dallas. Let's close this bad boy out. Before we do that, though, I do want to talk about schedule for the day. MLB strategy show coming up at 11 a.m. That's going to be Laffy and Greg. Then Greg is back with Matt Bellman at 5 p.m. for MLB Live Before Lock. I will be back with Eric tonight at 6 p.m. for NBA Live Before Lock. And then Greg and I will be live on playback at 7 p.m. for the first half of Boston and Cleveland. Also, and this is the big one, if you want to sign up at Stokastic, the promo code is Edwards, like Anthony Edwards. You can get 1 week of our Sims Max package for $19.99. Guys, this is a really good deal for what we're giving up. I'm going to pull it up right now so you can see exactly what you get out of this deal. You get the data hub, the contest generator, the simulator itself, late swap, post-contest tools, projections, ownership, boom bust, premium Discord, and more. You could land on this landing page for The Sims if you want to learn a little bit more. Explains everything. Video here on how to use it, screenshots, every explanation of every piece of The Sims is here on the landing page that you guys can see. Go to stokastic.com if you want to browse to it. Again, normally, this package is $59.95 a week. You can get the Sims Max weekly package for $19.99 as long as you use the promo code Edwards. Click the link in the description to sign up. Alrighty, final team to look at, the Dallas Mavericks. They are 1-point favorites. It's a 213 total. We have 50% ownership coming into PJ Washington. We have 50% ownership coming into Derek Lively. We have 30 coming into Luka Doncic and to Derek Jones Jr. We have 20 to Kyrie. Then we have around 10 to 15 on Daniel Gafford and Tim Hardaway Jr. and Josh Green. We'll start with the guys I like the most. That's going to be $4,200 Derek Lively. He's $1,300 cheaper than Gafford. He's obviously pulling that ownership. They were playing him late last time out. They seemed like they were more interested in closing with Lively over Gafford. I still have Gafford with more minutes, but in 22 minutes for Derek Lively, he to me looks like one of the best plays you can get to. We have him 35% optimal, 49% owned, so some pretty negative leverage. I prefer Derek Lively to Al Horford at this moment. Derek Lively, one of my most exposed plays. Similarly, PJ Washington, 6K, power forward center eligible. He's 50% owned. I've got a little bit over 50. We have him 50% optimal, 50% owned. You just kind of got to get there. The shots are there. He's giving. Now, is he a good three-point shooter? Your mileage may vary. But he's going to have every opportunity because everybody wants to pay attention to Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. So he's going to get every look he could possibly want. Whether he's knocking them down or not is going to be what you're hoping for. But the goal is 32 fantasy points out of PJ Washington. And if he's going to play close to 40 minutes a night, I think you just get to PJ Washington. I still want to get to Daniel Gafford, though. There are situations where his defense is working. He's protecting the rim. He's rim running on any of the pick and rolls, and they can't stop it. There are situations where that happens. I think Gafford, because of his ownership, is underrepresented at 16%. We have him 22% optimal, 16% owned. So there is positive leverage to be had from Daniel Gafford. It's not just Lively for me. I'm happy to get to Gafford. I actually had Gafford and Lively together 2 nights ago in that lineup that finished 8th, and I would assume I will have some more Gafford plus Lively again today. And then Derek Jones Jr., I think positionally and price-wise is a guy that I'm going to get to a little bit more. He's sort of like my replacement to Peyton Pritchard. He's a couple $100 more expensive. He's set to play like 10 more minutes than Peyton Pritchard. He's basically the same ownership, but he's at small forward, power forward instead of guard. So I like the idea of going to Derek Jones Jr. more than I like getting to Peyton Pritchard. He becomes my value option. I'm a little light on Luka. I don't think we have a ton in that sub 4K range, so I do find paying up to 11.2 to be difficult. He's certainly not healthy, which makes me dubious of the massive games. I have him projected really well, 1.5 fantasy points per minute, but I'm finding myself light on Luka, a little bit under on Kyrie Irving. The one guy that I'm not getting to, well, 2 guys that I'm not getting to, $3,700 Tim Hardaway Jr., shooting guard, small forward, happened to just make everything he took in that last one. I think that was the last one. Could have been the one before that. But whether it's him or Josh Green, they're not great per minute dudes. We're talking in and around 0.75 fantasy points per minute for those guys, maybe even less. I don't anticipate getting to Hardaway or Josh Green for that much value. Like Hardaway last time out, 3 for 9, 2 boards, an assist, and a steal in 16 minutes. Whatever. It was 2 games ago where he had, 10 points in the second quarter or something like that? 10 points in the third. 3 for 5 from the field, 3 free throws. Like, I don't expect him to have 17. S&P, you are not wrong there. Which is also why Lively is getting as much love as he is. What do you guys like from Dallas? Are you going to be able to pull off Luka? Where do you guys want to go on Dallas? Because for me, it's Lively, it's Jones Jr., it's Washington, and it's Gafford. I have a lot less of the Dallas main guys in Luka and Kyrie. I think Tim Hardaway is live to see extra run. Why is that? Let's see. Lively, PJ, maybe Kyrie. I like the center plays. And the bench players I don't like. Fair enough. Hardaway. Gafford, Lively, Jones. More Tatum than Luka. Okay. I think we're mostly on the same page. Other than everybody thinking Tim Hardaway Jr. is something that he's not. Yeah, I said it. I think we're done here. So let's sum it up. My top exposed plays. That's going to be Derek Lively, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Derek Jones Jr., PJ Washington. My top 5 most exposed plays. My number 1 lineup coming out of the Sims this morning. Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, Derek Jones Jr., Derek Lively, Kyrie Irving, Jalen Williams, and Daniel Gafford. I like that lineup. It certainly feels different enough to be unique, too. Are you capping lineups that include Lively and Washington? Like exposure capping? Either way, the answer is no. Let's see. Kyrie seems like a discount, can easily put up as many points as Mitchell. I mean, the betting market doesn't have these guys as even comparable dudes. Mitchell and Irving, from a projection standpoint, aren't close to each other. Top 3 chalkiest plays are PJ Washington, Derek Lively, and Shea, I think. Yeah, and Shea. Yeah, that's a good shout, Steven. I didn't even think about it like that. Doesn't have Luka, SGA, or Tatum, but does have Mitchell and Irving, and to a lesser degree, Jalen Williams. Like, that's a... It's not like it's not getting to stars in an interesting way. I like that construction. It's scary, but, you know. Anything else we want to talk about before we duck on out of here? MLB strategy show coming up in about 25 minutes. All right, guys, who wins? I think we're all probably on the same page here. It's hard to say that it's hard to say that Cleveland wins. So if you want to tell me Cleveland covers, go for it. But who wins Dallas OKC? Who wins Dallas OKC? I got OKC, and I think we're going 2-2. John C. says OKC. Andy says Dallas. Demetrius says OKC. Ooh, S&P leaning Dallas. Benny says Mavs. That's a fun series, man. It's a fun series. Everybody that I want to be on my side with the Thunder doesn't seem to be on my side with the Thunder. So you guys can be the sad ones moving forward. I'm going to get on out of here, folks. Thank you guys for joining me for the strategy show. Let's start this week off on the right foot. Hit the like button on your way out the door. Shout out to Sleeper for being the sponsor. Chandre giving us the Dallas defense is good. Let's just be clear here. Oklahoma City's defense in the playoffs, second, 102.5. Dallas is sixth at 110.7. That is 8 points worse than OKC. So, you know who else has a good defense? The Oklahoma City Thunder. And on that note, guys, I'm going to get on out of here. Good luck, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Win some money tonight. I'll see you guys in the morning.